sign-in table, but we're going to go ahead and get started and welcome our colleagues as they continue to come in, because we're really excited to get our day underway and to share the professional learning that we planned with you. So once again, good morning to everyone. I'm excited to welcome you to this experience, the second annual Day of Belonging. We have a day that's filled with ways that we're going to strengthen relationships with each other and our students to extend and deepen what it really means to belong as a Clipper. At Convocation, you heard Dr. Dorr share with us the message that we are not engaging in anything new this year and that we're putting our energy into strengthening all the amazing things that we do to enrich the Clipper experience. Feeling belonging is critical to the Clipper experience and it's the foundation of our pursuit for equity and excellence. So in the information that we shared ahead of today, we also shared a definition of belonging. And to get our day started and to center our work, I'm going to share it again. Belonging is the ongoing culture created to have all people feel welcomed across their differences. Belonging is manifested in our relationships, in our conversations, in physical space, and in written word. And during this day of professional learning, we're going to hear stories, engage in reflection, and experience strategies that will help us support and deepen our Clipper culture of belonging for our students and for each other. And it's the power of our stories and shared understanding on which our day is built, and therefore it feels most fitting to have our keynote speaker share a part of her story in influencing our thinking about what it means to belong. I am thrilled to introduce to you our keynote speaker, Deputy Commissioner Regina Robinson. Dr. Regina Robinson joined the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education in September of 2021 as a Deputy Commissioner overseeing workforce diversification, secondary pathways, early college educational options, and planning and research at the department. Regina is a collaborative and skilled leader in education with a passionate expertise in student success for over 20 years. As a promoter of student effectiveness and support, Regina understands students' pathway from admittance to degree conferral, pre-K to career, and engages both higher education and pre-K to 12 stakeholders on the critical components impacting student success. She has been a fierce advocate for K-12 students with disabilities in the greater Boston area, and in 2014 was appointed to the Boston School Committee, where she served for one term. Since 2008, Regina's vast service to organizations has ranged from board and community engagement, and she's been a guest lecturer at 10 colleges and universities across the Commonwealth. Her lectures are especially focused on topics of disability inclusion, advocacy, and family engagement. Regina possesses the unique ability to visualize educational attainment through many lenses. As a former college administrator, instructor, and local district leader, to current K-12 parent advocate and statewide policymaker. As the parent of 4 children, one who is a star with Down syndrome, Regina is personally invested in access to education and career success for all students from all backgrounds and with all abilities. A recent doctoral graduate in higher education from Regis College, Regina's research is focused on spotlighting gender, race, and executive leadership in education. Please join me in giving a warm Clipper welcome to Deputy Commissioner Regina Robinson.
Good morning, good morning.
Good morning.
Let's try it again. Good morning, good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, you sound like you need some good morning energy. If you've known me or you've heard me speak before, then you know what's coming. Put your coffee cups down and stand to your feet, please. I grew up as a camp kid. I'm sorry in advance. And then I grew up to be a program director at a camp, and it was my job to make rainy days like sunny days. It was my job to make sure that we woke up ready to start our day. And since we're all in the work of education and we're used to being in front of kids, and sometimes we have to engage kids and kind of get them ready for their day, I grew up with a cheer that simply just spells out the word good morning, but in a fun sort of way. So you're gonna have to have your hands free. Get your hands free. Some of y'all already gave me some spirit fingers. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So it's simple, G-O-O-D, morning, good morning. Hey, hey, good morning. Woo! And you have to end with the woo. So now here's the thing. I know some of you are already looking like, I wasn't ready for this morning. I haven't even finished my cup of coffee. It's okay. It's okay. Because I am here for you. Okay? I am here for every stage and level that you want to give me of energy. If all you want to do is just stand and spell good morning, that's fine. We're in the business of education. It's just the words good morning. So if all you want to do is just stand and spell, that's the only energy you have for me today, thank you. If you have another level of energy and you want to clap with me, then you can do that as well. Thank you. If you want to say the words out loud and actually give me a little bit of energy verbally, thank you. If you want to combine it all together because you had your cup of coffee, I see some dancers. Would you like to join me? I need 2 volunteers. I usually ask, and I just want to see who has that level of energy, that volunteer energy. Yes, ma'am. What's your name? Wendy, come on up, Wendy. Let's give it up to Wendy. Let's go, Wendy. Let's go, Wendy. Come on up, come on up, come on up. Is there anyone else that has some Wendy-like energy? Is there anyone else? Is there anyone else? Yes. Oh, I see 2. Okay, what's your name? Come on up. Come on up. Yes, come on up. I see one more. What's your name? Well, then there it is. There it is. I saw some more points there. Yes, ma'am. Come on up. And who's my friend here? Do you want to come on up as well? Yes? Everyone's pointing to you. Yes, sir. Spread yourselves out, brother. Spread yourselves out. Spread yourselves out. Oh, he took off his jacket. He said, let's go. He said it's game time. So we're spelling, we're clapping. Some may want to jump, some may want to move, because I already I was feeling your movement back there. And then some of you may want to work your upper registry and you want to actually like, please give it to me. If all you can do today is just spell and then give me a woo at the end, then I appreciate it. Whatever you have to give, let's bring this good morning energy, and then you're going to just infuse it into your classrooms and with the kids that are around you. We're going to do one round just to like kind of get the wiggles out, wake us up a little bit, and then we'll do the second round and really, really work. Are y'all ready? Okay, I just need names and what you do here.
Steve, Fine Arts Department.
Steve, Fine Arts, give it up. Robin, math, give it up. Wendy, school counselor.
Daniel English.
Daniel, English. All right, we got the full spectrum. See, I love it. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. G-O-O-D-F-O-R-S-I-N-G. Good morning. Hey, hey, good morning. Oh my word. That's incredible. Do you know that there are some districts that I have to do this 3 times? Because I literally will have some folks look at me like, not today. But you are bringing it. You are going to be my next exemplar. Okay, now we are going to spell it, maybe do a little bit of jumping. You already showed us up. If there's any jumping energy that you have to give, let's give it together. 1, 2, 3, here we go. All right, high five your friends. Give it up for my friends up here. I love it, I love it, I love it.
Hey Andrew, how are you? How's first time? Good. And you guys just got Kristen from us too.
This is what
Awesome.
we are all about here in education.
Oh yeah? Nice. Is she 5th or 6th? 6th.
We have an opportunity each and every day to literally breathe life into our students. Some of you may have gotten up this morning, maybe you've had a tough week, maybe you've had a tough month, Maybe you've already had a tough year. But when your kids are walking into your building, they just want to experience education. They don't know what you're going through. They don't know what I'm going through. They don't know that a week and a half ago we lost a dear member at the agency who'd been there over 2 decades. Kids don't know that. They don't know all that you're going through. But what they do know is that they have an opportunity to be in your presence and for you to infuse life into their educational experience. What a great honor, what a great privilege we have to infuse life into the students who are before us so that we can impact their trajectory in a powerful way. I'm so excited about what you all have been doing here because I get the sense that there's been some learning and some unlearning that's had to take place to be where you are right now. Talking about a sense of belonging, talking about identity, talking about what I believe is critical to the essence of education. For the adults who are around kids, you need to know your why, and you need to remember your why, and you need to tap into your why as often as possible. What do I mean by that? Your why is W-H-Y. The W, the what drew you to this work. The who impacted your life and shaped your trajectory into being in this work. The when, how long ago? For those who are newer teachers and those who are newer leaders and newer staff members in education to those who've been here a very, very long time. Remembering your why. Understanding that W. When I think about my why, and one of the reasons why I know that I love this work is because I had incredible adults in my own life. Beginning with my parents, I'm a girl from Virginia, and I gotta tell you, when you're a transplant and you move up to New England area, y'all can be tough. We can laugh about it now. But my first couple of months, 17 years ago, and I'm bringing my Southern happy self. Hey, how you doing? Love your necklace. Hey, I would get these looks. Not from y'all, from your friends. And it's this look that New Englanders give you. And it's, what are you on or what are you selling? Because we should have no reason to have a conversation right now. But here you are, talking to me like I really want to talk back to you. It's that energy. And I remembered asking some of my girlfriends as I made friends, should I scale back a little bit? I kind of get these looks. Should I just like hold back? One of my girlfriends said, no, Regina, we need your Southern energy up here. Like, we need it. Then my other girlfriend said, but, because that's what y'all do, right? But if the energy is not reciprocated, you should adjust accordingly. Never forgot that. So I realized as a transplant, I realized what it meant to kind of be new kid, new girl, new person in a new area. Very different culturally than how I grew up. But I had incredible parents who taught me the value of relationships, the value of getting to know people, the value of like not focusing on boxes and bubbles. What I mean by that is we can very quickly and very easily just peg people. You know, sometimes people watching can be fun, but sometimes people watching can be a little dangerous because then you just start to like box people in. Oh, she is probably, and then you fill in the blank. Or, oh, they probably are, and you fill in the blank. And sometimes inadvertently, that carries over into our work settings, and the kids, and the people that we engage, and the families. Oh, they probably, and we box them in. Or the bubbles, where we're really, really like comfortable and contained in our bubbles. Whether for me, it was that Southern bubble, it was, you know, that life that I had down south. That's very different than the New England bubble or the Boston bubble. or the Patriots bubble, or the Celtics bubble. My husband's from Cleveland, Ohio. I didn't realize how painful it was our first couple of years living here because he would say things like, oh, it's exhausting living in a city with champions. And he would struggle year after year. He's like, oh, another championship parade. So then when the Indians played the Red Sox one year and the Indians won one of the games he attended, and I remembered having to say a little prayer because I knew if he brought the same energy that I know he has to a Red Sox game, I didn't know if he was gonna make it home okay. Because energy was gonna match energy. So I recognized, it wasn't until I recognized such loyalty for sports until meeting him, because I'm from Virginia, and growing up we had Redskins, Washington, but I'm from Virginia, so I don't know, it's complicated. But up here, this is a culture of champions. And I didn't realize how painful that would be to someone who did not have a champion. So you could imagine when LeBron brought the championship home, I looked at my husband, may have been game 5, game 6. I remember looking at him at one of the games, watching one of the games, and I said, you know if Cleveland wins, we're packing up all the kids, all 4. They were little too. We're packing all of them up. We will drive through the night. We'll do whatever it takes. We're gonna get to that parade. You know that, right? And he looked at me, and he was like, I love you. It wasn't the time that I thought he would say I love you, but I appreciated it. And guess what we did? We packed those kids up. And 1 million people in downtown Cleveland, it was our son's birthday, he's on my husband's shoulders. I'll never forget that moment. The feeling of a champion, right? But culturally, that wasn't my experience. That wasn't his lived experience. But that's your experience. And sometimes there can be a bubble of like a champion's mentality, a mindset that others don't quite understand. I had to learn a little bit about my culture, what I had to unpack, what I had to unlearn, so that I could really engage authentically in a new culture. I wonder sometimes how some of our students who are coming from different cultural experiences, how they are able to adjust accordingly. And how they are able to have adults around them who see them, care for them, want to know about their experiences. You see, that sense of belonging isn't about what you are doing, it's how they are feeling. So the grade on belonging doesn't come from you, it comes from the students saying that they feel like they are welcomed and that they are included and that they feel a sense of belonging. That was a very interesting lesson for me to have to learn as I grew in my trajectory in education leadership. So coming from Virginia, moving to New England for work to continue my climbing the ladder in education, in higher ed in particular. But within the year that we moved here, found out I was pregnant, kid number 2. Okay, what to expect when you're expecting? Just open the book back up again. Only this time, February 13th, 2007, the day before Valentine's Day, which is a day of love, y'all can talk back to me, I learned a different definition of love. I learned what it meant to unconditionally love someone. Because February 13th, 2007, it was not a routine ultrasound appointment. Found out very quickly, oh my God, something's wrong with your baby. And as I'm continuing in the appointment, they're showing me pictures. You see this here? This is a picture of your baby's brain. This picture here shows too much fluid on the brain, as if I can really read and understand what's on the picture. Too much fluid on the brain, it's called hydrocephalus, hydrowatercephalus brain. And so that's a condition that will cause all types of neurological challenges, so therefore you should terminate the pregnancy. All in one sentence. And it was a moment for me, being a girl from Virginia, moving to New England, leaving everything behind because we were embarking on this work adventure. It was a moment. You don't really wish it on anyone. No one prepares you for that. No one tells you when you're in school, like you could grow up one day and have an appointment that could go south really quickly. What will you do about that? It's not in any textbooks. It's not in any like handbooks when you're like meeting someone. It's not a first date conversation like, what will you do if? But we encourage it now when we counsel young couples, like, hey, let's talk about family experiences. Let's talk about death and disease, and let's talk about challenges and delays, and let's talk about like the turns and forks in the road that you didn't really anticipate. Because life isn't always about just the bed of roses and the trajectory that you set out on. So that appointment, February 13th, the day before Valentine's Day, shifted my understanding and definition of love. Because then the technician left, doctor came in, they discussed among themselves as though we weren't sitting right there. We brought Jordan, our oldest daughter, who was a baby at the time, because we wanted her to find out if she was having a brother or sister, yay! Not the experience that I anticipated. They talked amongst themselves, and then they turned and looked at the screen. Oh, yeah, yeah. Too much fluid too early in gestation. Yep, I agree, you should terminate. And it was a moment. And then they're about to leave, and my husband says, excuse me, so are we having a boy or a girl? And they turned, oh, it's a boy, as they walked out. It was a moment. It was a moment. It was one of those moments you never forget, right? Because it's not what you're expecting when you're expecting at all. What I learned from that experience, a couple of powerful things. That was one of many other very challenging experiences where our baby was not seen as a person worth having a chance at life. Doctor after doctor. One doctor said, when we had to have further tests, because one test always leads to another, and one doctor said, you just got the results back, trisomy 21. Y'all know what that is, right? Down syndrome. Anybody know or love a kid with Down syndrome? Anybody? Yeah? Y'all know that people with Down syndrome are a party waiting to happen on any given day. So now that you know that about me, you should never be surprised what I bring in any space, because I'm just channeling Josiah. I'm just channeling Josiah. Josiah loves the good morning cheer, and he's like, let's do it again. Let's do it again. I'm like, buddy, we gotta go. We have to move on. And he's like, but I like it. But I like it. And then he wants to show you his LeBron James moves. It becomes a lot. It becomes a lot. So one doctor said, when we had both hydrocephalus and trisomy 21 on the chart, he's gonna have a poor quality of life, and you don't want that burden on your hands. You should terminate. Another doctor said, looked at me, looked at the chart. She had just walked into my appointment. Looked at me, looked back at the chart. You're still pregnant. I thought you would have terminated by now. Doctor after doctor, week after week after week. Just moved to New England. Trying to make friends in TJ Maxx, and this is what's happening. It's a complicated experience. What I learned from that experience was that advocacy sometimes begins before they even walk through the door, before they even get here. What I learned from that experience, because February 13th, I fell in love with a boy I hadn't met yet. And what I learned from that experience when we finally met the great late Alan Crocker from Children's Hospital, what I learned from that experience was he was the first person to ask me, what is his name going to be? And I thought for a moment, am I in a therapy session? No one has asked me that question from February, April, going on to May, June. What is his name? His name is Josiah. I talk to him every day. Like something came alive in me when Dr. Crocker asked, what is his name? And when I said his name is Josiah, he sat back, tilted his head back and said, the name of a lovely lad that I can't wait to meet. And then he said, tell me your story. See, I heard that y'all are doing some storytelling. You're talking about identity. You're talking about a sense of belonging. You're talking about what it means to really engage students. Starting with their name and then with their story is critical to create a sense of belonging. What is his name? No one had asked. We had to even ask if we were having a boy or a girl. They didn't care. But I'd fallen in love with the boy I hadn't yet met, and I chose him and not them. What I learned from Dr. Crocker as we shared our story after story, and he and only a few others are the only people that I really name drop. Because I needed folks to know I didn't just see like an intern at the hospital. I saw some of the best and the brightest in the world, because we're in New England, right? The city of champions, where y'all got folks, your neighbors got textbooks with their names on it, and everybody reads about them. That's y'all's neighbor. And I learned very quickly when you're in a city of champions, there's like a sense of pride, there's kind of a sense of ego, there's a little sense of like, better than you, but I don't have to tell you that because we have a shared understanding. Energy. It also takes place in healthcare. It also takes place in medicine. So when I dared ask the question of one of these world-renowned experts in an appointment, so can you tell me, you keep talking about termination, but you continue to see that we are both still here. So what next? If I don't follow that recommendation, what next? The response, no one has a crystal ball. No one can determine what the outcome is going to be, but don't go hoping for a miracle when you can terminate. And I remember thinking, wow, I'm not hoping for a miracle, but I just want to meet a kid. Like, I just want to meet him. Week after week until Dr. Crocker shifted the trajectory of Josiah. Because he spoke life into my life, and he spoke life into Josiah's life. You see, what Dr. Crocker gave me as a gift, and I shared this story a couple months ago in another district, and the teacher came up afterwards, and we had a little like teary moment because her best friend also had a Dr. Alan Crocker experience. See, you have the opportunity as educators to literally shift the trajectory of the lives of your kids and their families by speaking hope and speaking life. No matter what's on the chart, no matter what is written in their IEP, no matter what is read about them or what you've heard about their experiences, you have an opportunity, that one first meeting, that one meeting, all the meetings afterwards, I can only count on one hand the times that I interacted with Dr. Crocker. But that one meeting, after seeing all of those other doctors, that one meeting, this is what he said at the end of the meeting. Because I had to ask him, can you give me some advice? I haven't been exposed to anybody with a disability growing up. Not to this level, and I only saw it from afar. So, can you give me any advice? He said, and these are my words for you. This is my why. He said, let him come and show you what he is capable of doing. Let him come and show you what he is capable of doing. When I think about my why, when I think about the adults that I interact with on a daily basis, the kids that I get to see shine on a daily basis, a weekly basis when I'm visiting schools, I am thinking about what they are capable of doing. I am encouraging adults to encourage kids to let them come and show you what they are capable of doing. So breaking down the why, W, the who, the what, the circumstances around why you chose this profession. The H is the how did you believe you could make a difference in this work? How do you still believe you can make a difference in this work. The H and Y is about the how. You chose this journey chose you. Maybe for you it's a calling, maybe it's something that drew you into the work. I was drawn into the work of education because of some great teachers and mentors in my life that spoke into my life and said, Regina, you have a gift in this area, and you have a gift in this area, and Regina, come and shadow me and let me show you what I do on a daily basis. I still remember as a 15-year-old shadowing my mom's friend who was a high school principal, and woo, the energy I felt when I walked in the building, seeing this woman work the room. Teachers coming in, yes, Miss So-and-so, you need this, okay, yeah, go ahead. And then a parent coming in, oh, hi, Mr. So-and-so, yes, all right, yeah, go ahead and fill, you need yeah, here it is right here. 2 boys came in late and, had the pants hanging down, trying to look cool, and they were walking, and I was sitting in the office, and they walked by me, and then they kept going, and I heard Dr. Johnson say, excuse me, come in and fill out a tardy slip. She's not here for you, she's here for me. I need you to focus and get to class. And I just watched this woman in a span of about 10 minutes work her little leadership energy, and I was like, that's it. I want to help people. I want to point people in the right direction. I want to know more about what she does. Now, I didn't realize how hard it actually is. Just saw that first hour. But I saw how my energy, my bottled up spark, or as my dad called it, live wire, is what he called me. I saw how I could use my energy, my leadership energy, my managing energy, I love helping and figuring out, okay, so what's wrong? Oh, the lights aren't working, okay, so how do we fix it? Just busy. But I recognized that there were adults in my life who wanted to help channel that energy. So I wasn't seen as a busybody. I was seen as someone who could be busy at work. I didn't know then why my parents said yes to every time I asked to try out for something and they said yes. Well, it's because now that I'm a parent of 4 kids, are they gonna use that energy at home? Or are they gonna use the energy out there? So let me help channel that energy out there. That's good parenting. That's why I was a 5-sport athlete, and I sang in the choir and I played in the band because they said use the energy. The world needs your energy, Reggie. The world needs your energy. So your sprightly kids in your class, just remind them, the world needs your energy. Because if you balling it up inside, good luck to you. Thoughts and prayers. You better let them use that energy. Channel that energy. Oh, Regina, public speaking, you love. My high school teacher pulled me aside after a speech and said, Regina, you worked really hard on that speech, and I saw how you were able to move your classmates. You should consider moving in that direction as a career. I went home, Dad, guess what? Guess what she said? She said, I have a gift. He looked at me, the gift of gab? Dad, you don't understand. You don't understand. But 30-some years later, he sits in the audience now. 30 years later, my mom says, Reggie, you talked a lot as a kid, but now you have something to say. See, there's a difference. And good adults know how to channel that energy around their kids. That's what the how you can make a difference. The how you can change the world when you're interacting with kids. You can let them see the spark in their talent. Those who need to take a little extra time, like Josiah. Those who need to process a little differently, like Josiah. Some of you have a gift of patience that only came from the saints. Because the rest of the world isn't always interested or ready or desirous to help some of our learners who take a longer time. But there are the Alan Crockers. Some of you are the Alan Crockers who can recognize what it takes to pour into students who need more support. Dr. Alan Crocker said, let him come and show you what he is capable of doing. So as I leave you all today, let your students come and show you what they are capable of doing. Do you know what that really means? It means sometimes you have to take a seat and let your kids teach you and show you. It means you have to be the listener and the learner so that you can be open to the beauty that they will be presenting you. There are times I have to tell my 3 neurotypical kids that they can learn from their brother with Down syndrome. Josiah is a high fiver and a hugger. Do you know what that means? That means that during the pandemic, my life was very challenged. Because Josiah didn't have anybody but us to high five and hug. And finally, when the grocery stores reopened, and we had to, 6 feet apart? I would have to tell Josiah, Mommy needs to just go inside of the grocery store. I just need to get some eggs, some milk, and maybe a couple of snacks. So Josiah, we're just going to get snacks. We're not going to talk to any new friends today. He looks at me, puts his head down. That's how I know he's not listening. Okay, that's a telltale sign. Okay, Mom. It's not really okay, Mom. It's like, I'll appease you until I have a moment. And by the time we got down the aisle to the eggs, we saw a gentleman in a Captain America t-shirt. Why do y'all do that? Why? I just needed to get some eggs, some milk, and some snacks. But you decided to wear Captain America, and we're supposed to be 6 feet apart. Josiah was like, oh, hey, Captain America, I'm Superman. High fives and hugs him. And I just had to like, COVID, stay away. COVID, stay away. That's my life. But what do we learn from a high fiver and a hugger? You know what we learn? We learn a sense of engagement. We learn this unfiltered, just beautiful opportunity to see people in a real way. That the rest of my kids are sometimes like, there they go again. It's either Mom or Josiah. It's either Mom or Josiah. We just want to go. No, actually, you can say hello to the person in the blue shirt. Like Josiah's like, blue shirt, I like you. He has this ability to see people and to shower kindness and love on people when they least expect it and when we're ready to go. But what is he teaching us? He's teaching us the power of the ICU moment. So with the Y of WHY, the W is the who, the what drew you to the work? When did you get drawn into this work? The H is the how. Did I believe I could make a difference? How do I still believe I can make a difference? Your kind words, you're shifting the trajectory in a positive direction. You're helping a student who feels really down. You're nourishing the students. Our school nutrition professionals, our school nurses, y'all know they were the real champions. Where are y'all? Are y'all in the building? School nurses, school nutrition professionals, where are you? Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Yes. You know you're the real champions in the pandemic, right? Y'all are like the chief inclusion officers in every district, in every building. Because some of us, you're math specialists for 7th, 8th grade. Some of you, you're English. Some of you, you're phys ed. But the school nutrition professionals and the nurses, they're everybody. Because before the pandemic, the school nurses, they had their kids with food allergies. And then the pandemic hit and everybody was on their caseload. School nutrition professionals are feeding everyone. They know sometimes more about the kids than y'all do. They know who has certain eating habits. They know who's going to walk through which line. They are our chief inclusion officers. We got to show them love as much as possible. Because for kids like Josiah, who love the school nutrition professionals, love them, I got to give them the side eye like, no, steer him away. No ice cream today. We had to put it in the IEP. That's something serious. That's my life. You got to realize the ICU moments for everyone in the building and how everyone brings this unique gift to all of our kids. Whether they are high flyers like my girl Joy, who wants to be a civil engineer until she found out about AI and coding. And she was like, wait a minute. I had an executive woman from Silicon Valley say that there are jobs that are just waiting for people like Joy. She said, wait a minute. Software engineers make more money? Okay. She was ready to go. She's a high flyer. Or Jeremiah, my 11-year-old, who wants to be a wildlife biologist and an NFL player. And he gets very offended if I only talk about him being a wildlife biologist and not an NFL player. He gets very offended. Mom, you didn't tell them. Okay, buddy, yes. He became a vegetarian during the pandemic because He made the connection between the food on his plate and the animals that he loves. Our children's librarians love him. Whenever we go to libraries, they love because they see him dedicated to his books on animals. He loves having conversations with them. So you have the high flyers who you got to keep up with, and then you've got some of the kiddos like Joe who need a little more support, but they also have a negotiating, hustling spirit too that you got to like stay on top of. And then my oldest, Jordan, who's a broadcast journalist who is excellent on camera with a script, but will very quickly say, Mom, but I'm an introvert and I have to have a script. I don't do that extemporaneous. Don't ever call me up. Don't ever. She will let you know. You got those kiddos in the class as well. They don't want cold calls. They want you to prep them and prepare them. Hey, Jordan, I'm going to need you to share X, Y, and Z in the classroom. Then you get the best out of them when you do that. So you're learning how all of your kids work and function. You're letting them come and show you what they are capable of doing. And when we sometimes sit back, take a seat back, get out of the boxes, and actually experience the brilliance and the potential that our students bring, we're shifting the trajectory of their life. So the why as we close is yes. The yes to opportunities to cultivate the conditions for their success. The yes to creating and cultivating a space for inclusion and a sense of belonging. The yes to really listening and learning about what they're not telling you that you need to discern. Saying yes to shifting the trajectory. Saying yes to positively impacting their lives. Saying yes to connecting with their families in a meaningful way. That's the why in education. And that is why I'm so excited to be serving you across the Commonwealth, knowing that you are making a difference in this legacy work called education. Thank you so much for all that you do.